Capricorn, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do your mid-April reading. We're going to take a look at your overall general energy, what you may not see coming, and get some important advice from Spirit, as well as a discovery of the hidden truths that may be occurring in your life for the next couple of weeks. Let's jump right in. Thank you for sharing this space with me today, for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for your support. And thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Capricorn today. Thank you for your guidance. Let's jump right in and get just a few Spirit Animal Oracle messages before we begin with the tarot. Ooh, that's too many. 4-1 to come out. Can't do 4. Too many messages. They're all vying for your attention. Spirit. Blue Jay, Intuition, and Frog, Transition. You are encouraged to follow your feelings and intuition. This is a reminder that your personal power is in your own hands and that you are free to take flight at any time if you find yourself in a situation that doesn't suit you anymore. Wow, that could be pertaining to any aspect of your life, but really hone in on your intuition. Blue Jays are great messengers of communication. Follow your feelings, Capricorn. The power is in your hands. So you might need to leave something. I'm getting some of you, it's a short-lived situation. Others of you, it's don't go back to an old situation because you're in a transition. Frog. And this is the picture if you want to see the blue jay here. This is a powerful time of change, Capricorn. You're being called to connect with the world of emotions and feminine energies. You may also need to engage in a process of cleansing, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, or energetic. You know, the spring cleaning's real. You know, you strip away, right, at things that are in your house, and then you strip away some more, and you think, I've done it this time. There's no more left. And then you decide, I'm going to do it again. It feels so good to purge, doesn't it? So whatever you are cleansing, whether it's your physical space and getting rid of things you don't need, or it's something you're doing internally with your physical body, it's a good time of year to do any of the cleansing and purifying of the energies so you can operate at a more optimum level. Let's jump into your tarot messages now. See what's happening. The Hangman. You've been pausing, practicing self-love, bringing more love into your perspective of recent events. I'm hearing recent events. There have been recent events that have made you pause. Consider your next plan of action from a loving heart. You're really focused on your stability, Capricorn. King of Pentacles at this time. Yeah, and generating long-term wealth. Capricorns are the hardest working sign of the zodiac. Highly productive, highly successful. This is for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus placements. Please only take what resonates. Ooh, we're going to take them. Let's just say this is a side energy before we get started. Yeah, I felt this coming into your reading. You're moving past a situation you couldn't trust anymore to bring you the wish fulfillment that you were seeking, the happiness you were seeking. You're still in a process of moving forward. We have the Seven of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the Chariot that fell out. So I think you're trying to remove some fears too. And healing from some wounding. Just getting past a difficult time. And you could be facing a difficulty in your work environment or your home environment. That one wants to come out, and so the other one. Base energy, yeah. 4 of Swords. Yeah. Cross by the wheel. You've been in a profound... I've been getting this off you, Capricorn, for a little while. This is the transitional period that we go through when something comes to a close in our life, especially around the heart. A need for healing, a time of having to go into your wounding. You could be really focused on healing deep things within you. I'm getting that. This is faded healing. Faded healing of the heart space, of the wounding that we carry in our hearts. Even for some of you, you're doing deep healing work around your childhood and around the ways that you've shown up in adulthood as a result of that, and just deciding I'm going to heal this. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to change the way I am processing my emotions, especially with the Queen of Wands that popped out. The wheel is turning in your favor, though. Sometimes when we do this deep healing work, we don't recognize while we're in it all the ways that our lives will change following it, but it's always profound change as a result of it. It's just hard to see it when you're in the midst of it because it's heavy. It's heavy to go into our past traumas, our old wounding, so we can feel better inside. You want to feel better inside, Capricorn. That's what I'm getting. The challenge. Yeah. Putting your needs first, putting your energy frequency first from day to day, focusing on your own needs is very hard when you're a giving individual. You have a big heart. I felt it coming in. It's hard for you to be self-focused, but you need to be. You need to put yourself first. That's the challenge. Risa Pass, yeah, you're wrapping up a huge cycle. Huge cycle. We'll see what you've learned in that cycle. What did you learn in the recent past? I'm looking forward to seeing what that says. Opportunity. You've got a lot of choices around your own self-care, around your own healing. You can't do it wrong. You know, it's just the intention of doing it at all that matters. You could be trying to decide as you go through this healing, deep healing phase, this transformative phase, the decisions that you make as a result of it, you have an opportunity to invest in new things. Primarily, though, it should be you. You could have options on the table here, new opportunities, new soul contracts, but I think for now you're waiting. I'm getting this need to wait and focus on you. You're not ready yet. Because if you start going towards things that you're not ready for, what happens? The energy's unstable. You could be undecided. I feel like you're very undecided about someone in your life. King of Cups, yeah. And I saw the Queen of Cups. I think you're undecided about someone that you still love. Not sure what to do. Not sure what to do. This could be you trying to come into balance with your divine masculine or divine feminine in your heart space. Coming into balance where you have access, greater access to what you feel. And we have to remove the things that stand in the way of that oftentimes, which is our trauma and our wounding. Yeah, so you can open up into new love opportunities. A lot of you are taking a time out right now, putting up boundaries around your past, moving on, pulling your energy inward, serving the greater good here. I'm seeing a huge transition that you're going through here. Huge transition, following your intuition, being guided, letting guided through your own feelings. Yeah, a lot of you have been working on yourself, primarily being alone, which is where our greatest work lies, is when we are alone. We're left with our own thoughts. But I see you putting a lot of time and effort and energy into growth. Yeah, you're growing and learning about what it's like to recognize the light within you, the voice within you. It's never for naught. The deepest places we will travel are within. When we start to turn our attention inward, it changes us in profound ways. We clean that window pane between us and our perceptions of the world when it's no longer dominated by trauma and wounding and patterning. Wow. This is a massive change in your life. You want to be happy. I get that. I just want to be happy, Jenna. I just want to feel good. Yeah. I think that you're learning what it's like to live a life dominated by fear. Dominated by fear. That's what you're healing. You don't want to be dominated by fear. All right. King of Cups. Why is the King of Cups here? Emotional intelligence. Coming into balance. Temperance. Eight of Pentacles. Whoa. Yeah, you were doing a lot of work to transform yourself from an emotional point of view. You might be trying to gain deeper aspects of your emotional depth think that you may have had coping mechanisms that made you bypass what you're feeling. And now you're going so deep within, it can be overwhelming. When you really start to go deep into your own feeling states, Capricorn, I'm seeing this profound shift for you to go through this process of transforming in your heart space and doing the work to heal your heart. To heal your heart. Beautiful. Beautiful work. Beautiful. A lot of you, this is how you show up in your work environment as well. If you felt things have been a little bit off balance with how you feel even day to day in your job, I'm seeing a big change. Some of you are actually leaving a team, an environment, and you're moving into a different sector, I'm seeing a different environment, that you could very well be moving to a different environment in your work, whether that's changing a job or changing departments. You're being led and guided by your heart. Wow. I think this is a profound shift in how you orient your energy out. I've had a lot of self-doubt. I think that's plagued you, especially in your work. But in life in general, I think you're starting to feel everything more. It's been painful, though. I feel like it's been painful because there were layers that you had to get through, dense layers of armoring that you have to travel through and to get to the deeper, yummy core, right? The gooey center of our hearts. They get armored through survival in childhood. For a lot of people, gone through trauma, and then you travel deeper and deeper. It's like a whole odyssey. You've been on this quest of the heart, and I'm talking about finding love outside of you. I'm talking about your own inner quest. Capricorn, what are you wrapping up from the recent past, this huge cosmic journey you've been on? What did you learn? Show me, Spirit. What did Capricorn learn from the previous journey, the previous cycle that is now coming to a close? The Queen of Wands. I've been so happy with seeing the Queen of Wands lately. The collective is starting to realize, in order to live from the heart, we must be true to ourselves. This is truth to oneself. The Queen of Wands. You learned what it takes. You learned what it takes to be true to yourself, Capricorn. As hard as it is. Playfulness, spontaneity, joy, creativity. We have page energy here. It's like you've been humbled recently by events that made you take a hard look at what you needed to change within you. Because there was damage being caused, not intentional damage, but when we show up in unhealed states, it can hurt us the most. And you're saying, I'm learning how to change, Jenna, and I'm learning how to grow, and I'm learning how to manifest from a place of staying true to myself and learning and observing the ways in which I actually got in my own way. Capricorn, I just want to give you a big hug. I do. I want to give you a great big hug for the bravery you're showing me in this reading, for the courage that it took you to surrender. I think you were afraid. Yeah, you were really afraid. Opportunity for the rest of the month. These important decisions that you're making around your own well-being, your own inner growth, perhaps even some indecision. This is about what you want, your own wish fulfillment. I think you've been kind of stuck. A swirl of emotion has been surrounding your heart. And the longer time goes on, this is this feels very dark night of the soul work, where we get put in a position where we must face ourselves and look in the mirror and go, I don't want to live like this anymore. Whatever that is, it could be the way you show up in your relationships, the way you show up in your work life, the way you show up with how you treat your body, and the ways you show up in how you view yourself. You're showing me, as hard as it is, you're starting to accept yourself. And you're starting to dream. This is fated change. Being the star of your own life. It's like it's hard for you to recognize your own beauty. I think that there's been some things that have recently disappointed you, and I think this month, for the rest of the month, you're taking a look at all the things that haven't worked out. And the desire is still, it's almost as though you're looking at, well, I made this decision. This was a bad decision, or this was a bad choice. And you know what? All choices lead to growth. You can look at it as bad, good, heavy, light, but they're, at the end of the day, they're all lessons in our own growth and our own evolution. And your opportunity for us this month is to choose you. Choose what makes you happy by staying true to yourself. I think it's hard for you to put yourself first in all things, because you have such a giving capacity here. You have a giving capacity. We often have to go through these periods of time where we turn our attention inward. I know it's hard. I'm going to cover her up, but it's hard. I think you're trying to overcome some recent disappointments, and you're thinking long and hard about what to invest in next. Beyond this healing phase, there could be some real blocks in communication with someone that you care about, where you suffered an ending. I think you've gone through a recent ending in your life, Capricorn, and now you're trying to come back into balance. Some of you, it was a job change. Others of you, it was an actual romantic relationship change. Wow. You're trying to be at peace in your mind over a situation. I think you're having a hard time finding inner peace, but it's coming. The challenge is, can you accept? Here's the thing. We can't change the past. All we can do is work on the present and have better hope for the future. You're really going inward. The Seven of Wands energy. The challenge for the rest of the month is inner peace, because this is the card of stress, overthinking, being burdened too by burnout, maybe putting so much work into your work life. You're wrestling with something in your mind. The more time you're spending with yourself, try not to get lost in your mind. This is about feeling, doing the work to feel what you feel. In this deck, this is the card of the ego. Fighting against your ego, creating resistance, surrendering to your ego, self-acceptance. In order for you to find lasting peace, Capricorn, in your lifetime, this is about self-acceptance, self-love, forgiveness, self-forgiveness. If you said or did anything that you now or later regretting, you can forgive yourself. And I think that you're hoping and wishing and praying that there's forgiveness outside of you as well. I think you've been a little bit stressed. I think that inner peace and harmony is a challenge for you to have. You could be putting so much work into your career, into your own success, but it's come at a cost. It's come at a cost and a sacrifice of your peace of mind, your daily peace of mind. You could have so many responsibilities in your work life that is overwhelming the decisions you have to make every day. And you're like, is this what I want? Is this really like, sometimes we get so focused on monetary achievement, financial security, at what expense to our own inner well-being? This is about balance. If you work so hard that you are detached from your true emotion, and this is about transforming, bringing more balance into your life, Capricorn. It can't all be work. You must focus on resting and recuperating and rejuvenating your energy daily. Nothing is worth you losing your health, your mental health, your own inner harmony over. I think you're trying to bring stability back into your life. For a lot of you, I'm reading for those of you who are workaholics, or those of you that are having a hard time moving past a fallout with someone. Knight of Cups. I think you have a lot of indecision about somebody in your life that you still are attached to, and you're trying to let go. You're trying to move past it. You're trying to move past the desire to bring it back. You're trying to come back into balance inside. We have the Queen of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Cups over the Two of Pentacles. I think that you're trying to bring stability back into your heart space more than ever. Try not to rush the process, this healing that you're going through. Stability will arrive once more. It's like you've got to bring, it's like you want to bypass loving yourself right now. I think you're really rejecting that. Like you are doing the work. I don't want to, you deserve credit for all the ways you were trying to grow and come to peace, come to terms with your current reality. I see you in the near future really wanting to bypass. Almost, let's just jump into a different connection just to make myself feel better. You know what? And if you're not ready for that, you know what's going to happen. I think you want to bring yourself, I mean, listen, there's a lot of opportunity we have at any given moment. You need to decide whether you're really ready for something. What energy can you bring to that if your main focus right now should be on you? So at least for the rest of the month, you need to really be focused on you, not on putting your energy into anything new, especially when it comes to romance. Because a lot of you are wrapping up a cycle that has really been a catalyst for your own growth and inner transformation. And if you don't sit with that and really hone in on that and make that your primary focus, you could shoot yourself in the foot and create more drama in your life in the near future than you really want to reckon with. So this is about having healthy boundaries, Queen of Swords, making sound decisions as you move forward, putting self-love into you. If you start putting yourself, if someone's coming at you, somebody new, brand new, you need to be careful. A lot of you are trying to juggle to love in your life when you are so focused on your career. But for most of you, I see you moving on from someone, trying to heal from it, and trying not to call in anything too soon that you're not prepared to handle, because it's going to be built on an unstable foundation. You can't zoom through the healing process in the wake of someone's departure or in the wake of your own dark night as a result of it. Some of you, it's not this massive wounding event to let go of this person, but I think that it's greatly disappointing because you had a lot of love here. A lot. I'm feeling a lot of love for someone that you know. I think you are undecided about this certain someone too. It may not even be about a new person. It could be about this Knight of Cups. Let's see the hidden truth. Is this the same person that you're trying to move on from? Ooh, I hit my elbow. The Moon, the Ace of Pentacles, the World, and the Queen of Cups was underneath. The Devil. Yeah, I think that this is a recent ex. I don't feel like it's an old ex. I think you have someone you're trying to overcome. Trying to overcome all of it, you know? Listen, you can still have love for someone, but it doesn't mean you should be with them. And that's the hardest lesson. I think there's a lot of unknowns in this new cycle. See, we're wrapping up the old one in the past, and now you're opening up into a new cycle. And I think until you bring yourself up to speed with your full heart, I'm seeing this King and Queen of Cups, you're still learning about what this connection served for you. You're still learning. And that means you're not ready. If you're still learning from your past, you're not ready for the future. It means you need to dwell in the present. Be fiercely present day to day and for the rest of the month. You're going to have a new opportunity in love. But right now it's a bit hidden from you, and it needs to be, because I think it's sometimes when you're wrapping up something and you're undecided, it's the fear of the unknown that makes you go back to something that you know you need to close the door on. When if you could just hold tight and zero in on your own inner journey and make that be your focus, you will ride it out and you will heal and you won't repeat a cycle and you will move forward. It's the fear of the unknown. Well, am I going to ever find someone better? Did I just make a mistake? Should I go back? Let's see what You Don't See Coming has to say. You have a lot of questions that you're grappling with, and that's the challenge. Don't take it up to the mind. Nothing ever gets solved with worry, Capricorn. Nothing ever gets solved with worry. You still feel like things aren't quite over. That's the problem. You're still learning from this. You're still being led and guided to learn from this experience. We have the Star and the Knight of Cups. This Knight of Cups 3 times, which is the message of love. I think that you have someone you still really, really love that you're learning from, and you're trying to restabilize the connection, make peace with what happened. It's a lot of uncertainty going on in your heart, Capricorn, over someone. What is it that you don't see coming? This person was a great catalyst in your life. Going through this great metamorphosis. It's about listening to your intuition that you wanted to point me over there. 8 of Pentacles, which is the overall general. This is what you don't see coming. Page of Pentacles. Yeah. Spirit's saying you really need to do the work. What you don't see coming is you really got to do the work to heal and to overcome the hurt. All right? This is you investing in doing the work to overcome the hurt. I don't know how long you were with this person, but long enough for you to really need to do some healing work in your heart. And I know it hurts, hon. Sweetheart, I know how much it hurts when there's a part of you that really wants to invest in it again. But first, no matter the outcome, see, we don't have a crystal ball here. No tarot reader, and neither do you. You must be led and guided by your intuition at all times, and led and guided by your inner journey and your inner knowing. The stronger you make that muscle, the better equipped you will to have a compass to show you the way, which is your internal GPS. Your internal GPS is saying all signs point toward healing your heart. Once you do that, because that's what got in the way, it is unhealed wounds that get in the way of things working out with people, theirs and yours. So the best that you can do now is to do the work that this person was a catalyst for. What is the advice from Spirit? You're going to get through this. I promise you. I know it doesn't feel good. 6 of Pentacles. 7 of Cups. The Hermit. The advice from Spirit is all of this indecision. All of this, should I, shouldn't I? What if this, what if that? You need to give to your own solitude. It will become more clear in time. This is also the card of illusion over what to invest in next. I think right now you need to be doing that inner work daily to just make yourself happy. Relight that fire in your heart again. Give to yourself. That is the biggest message of this reading. Give to yourself. You will find clarity in time. Decisions will be made. The burden will be dropped in time. You are headed towards fated change, this is fated transformation. This person came in your life for you to truly transform. Honor it. Honor the lesson it served. Give to self. Give to your inner being. Wherever you find yourself in this state of, I don't know, it's okay to not know. That's the thing. Sometimes we have to get comfortable with the unknown. Things will be made more clear as time goes on, especially by doing the work. Let's get a message from another oracle deck called the Herbal Astrology Oracle. It is right here if you want to see what it looks like, the box. It is in my description box if you're curious about it. I love this deck. Yeah, calendula, purity with skull cap. They wanted me to take, which one, Spirit? They said to actually shuffle the two because it's a cross. They're both equally important. I don't have time to read both. But for those of you who have the deck, just tell me when to stop, Spirit. Stop. Skull cap. Stillness. Stillness. But I do believe that you need to come from a place of purity and innocence. Crawling back into the womb of the wounding of your childhood. There's something around trauma and wounding that you were really, really going in. And it's almost like you've been afraid all this time to do it, but now you're doing it. And whatever resistance you've had around this, you're dropping it. And I know it's hard when you're in the thick of it. I've done some deep, see, we do this work so we can show up fully in our own truth and our own selves for the rest of our lives. This is for the greater good of your life. But I know it's the hardest work you'll ever do. Stillness after the storm. Let go of control. Trust in life. Surrender to the divine plan. Break open. That's why they wanted me to do this. I just got goosebumps. Woo. The storm is past. You've just weathered or are weathering a storm. Ground deeply into the present moment. If you feel fear, find consolation in stillness as it readapts. The medicine of Scorpion embodies the stillness of darkness, as you can see here. And it assists by accepting sudden change with ease and calm. If you're feeling exhausted, drained, or depleted, this is the time to pause and withdraw to your cave. You're in the process of rebuilding after the storm. Don't rush, reflect. Take the time to birth a new structure that supports a new version of yourself. That is the perfect sentence. Take the time to birth a new structure that supports a new version of yourself. A more healed, embodied version of you, Capricorn. Sending so much love. Take care.